Hey guys, this is Jabroni of Jesus Knights, and I want to talk to you about the Queen Walk BoWitch Bats attack, also known as the Harmanator, based on an attack made by a guy in our clan called Harmanator. And here is the army composition that I like to use. Harmanator only uses 4 healers. I like to use 5 in case one dies to a Seeking Air Mine, which is also why I bring a balloon to test for a Seeking Air Mine early in the attack. Let me go ahead and get started here with this replay. This is an Attack in Legends League, and let me tell you the general idea here. We want to get, obviously, the Town Hall, but we also want to get the Eagle. What I have found is I like to start the Queen from the opposite side with the healers and the Grand Warden and a test balloon to test for a Seeking Air Mine. The idea is I want her to go either one way or the other. Once I figure out which way she goes, I want her to join with my bowlers and witches to go to the center, take out the Eagle, take out the enemy clan castle, take out the enemy queen, and eventually take down the town hall. Once I see which way she's going, as you can see on this attack, she's starting to go left, I will put 3 giants, 5 wizards, also the Barb King, possibly the P.E.K.K.A. And the goal here for these troops is to take out these buildings so that my queen does not continue to walk around the outside. I need to cut off the flank so that the queen and the wrecker, and you'll notice I deploy the wrecker in between where the king and the bowlers, or sorry, not where the king and bowlers, where the king and the giants and wizards are, and where the queen is located. I deploy the wrecker in between so that hopefully by the time the queen has stepped up to where the wrecker is going to break out those walls, the queen will be able to path to the middle. And you can see I deployed the witches and the bowlers right next to where she was to get to eventually the town hall. I use a rage spell, and right here I want to pause. I use the warden's ability early. Why? 2 reasons. Number 1, the eagle has started to target my kill squad. I like it when the eagle targets the king, and often it will, but for whatever reason on this attack, it attacked all the bowlers and witches that were here as part of my kill squad in the wrecker. I also use my warden's ability because I've learned when you start from the opposite end of where the town hall is, you have to protect your wall wrecker. If the wall wrecker does not make it to the town hall, then your attack is toast and you're going to get a 1-star. All right, let me pause it here. I deployed the bats from way over here on the right because, as you can see, my kill squad, even though it's working its way to the town hall, it did not get any of these buildings up here. So the purpose of the bats is to take out all of those buildings that my kill squad could not get. Obviously, you need to use freeze spells on wizard towers and multi-infernos so that your bats do not die from those defenses. Fortunately, my queen steps up, takes out the multi-inferno, so I end up with an extra freeze that I, at this point, wasn't sure when I was going to use it. The town hall goes down. I don't have many troops left down here. So I use the freeze on the Tesla farm. Now, as you can see, my bats die to the tornado spell. Supercell, if you ever watch this video, I cannot stand that part of the game, how the tornado trap, if your bats get stuck in it, they die. It is so annoying. It happened to me in war last time. But anyway, so most of my troops, almost all my troops are dead, except for the queen, the warden, some healers, and the 1 archer that I have left for some cleanup. Ideally, you might want to save a wizard for cleanup. I just never remember to, so I have that archer. Fortunately, I have plenty of time left, and the queen has enough health left and is able to take out the rest of these buildings for the 3-star. Let me show you the next attack. And this one is against a very common internet base. Again, my goal with these attacks, I obviously have to get the town hall, but I also need to make sure I take out the eagle, hopefully on the way to the town hall and also the enemy clan castle. The queen is way over here on the left, but I have learned that I like to start my queen over here from 3 o'clock. So that way, if she goes north, well, I can get the clan castle troops. If she goes south, I can still get the eagle pretty early. If she does go south, then I will put a giant up here to lure out the CC troops because I do not want the CC to be pulled late in most situations because that could also ruin your attacks and prevent your troops from getting to Town Hall, as I have learned from experience. My queen is taking too much damage from the baby dragon and the expo, so I use a rage spell, also a poison spell on the pups that are hitting my warden that my queen is currently not shooting down. So that's how that works. I use 3 giants and 5 wizards. Again, I need to cut off the flank. I've learned at Town Hall 12 it's good to have the king there as well to help out with cutting off that flank. P.E.K.K.A. is also used. The wrecker is placed in the middle between where the funneling troops were and where the queen was. Warden's ability is used early to get the wrecker to the Town Hall. I kind of wish I would have saved that rage since that was my second rage. I should have saved it for a little bit closer to the Town Hall. You'll also see I used a freeze spell on the single target Inferno because I was afraid that it was targeting my wall wrecker. So like I was saying, the rage spell maybe should have been saved because if these bowlers and the queen did not join the wrecker and shoot down that Town Hall, then the only thing I would have had getting the Town Hall would have been the P.E.K.K.A. from the wall wrecker for my CC troops. So in that case, I would have needed the rage spell to take down the Town Hall using that P.E.K.K.A. As you can see, I have my queen and bowlers in the center. I have the king and some more bowlers and a P.E.K.K.A. way up here. So it made sense for me to use my bat spells down here near the 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock area, freezing the wizard towers. Now, you remember, I used a freeze spell on the single target Inferno. So I am out of freeze spells at this point, and you'll see there's one more wizard tower. It is going to shoot down my bats. But since I had so many troops up here, and I had the queen, who, by the way, shot down the multi-target Inferno over on this side, this ends up working out to be a 3-star. So this is how you can take down this annoying ring base that you will often find in Legends League and sometimes in CWL and also in War. Next attack I want to show you is against another classic Legends League base, and it is one that I cannot stand at all, so I asked Lord Taliesin to post it for me, and he was willing enough to do so. Now, he is not a brand new, but a relatively new Town Hall 12. So I'm not going to lie, if his defenses were higher level, this might not have 3-starred as easily as it did. I used to always start my queen down here at the 6 o'clock corner on this base with the hope that she'll either go left or right, and then I bring the wrecker in between and eventually get the Town Hall. I've tried it so many times, it has not worked on this base, so I decided instead to start my queen over here near 3 o'clock. If she goes up, then I bring my wrecker near that wizard tower and that multi-inferno to get to the Town Hall. If she goes south, then I bring my wrecker somewhere here near 4 or 5 o'clock. You see, I have to be patient sometimes to see which way she's going to go. At this point, I know she's going south, so I bring the giants and the wizards and the Barb King and the P.E.K.K.A. to cut off the flank, taking out those buildings so that my queen will join the wrecker and the witches and bowlers, which I deployed right next to where the queen was. So that way, as you can see, they're not going to go down here, while surprisingly the king and the P.E.K.K.A. does, but my bowlers and witches come up here. Once again, like I did on the other attack, I had to freeze the single target Inferno because it was targeting my wrecker. Fortunately, I was able to freeze the single target Inferno and the Eagle at the same time, which was nice. I used my Warden's ability early, just out of habit. You normally have to do that. In hindsight, I probably could have saved it for when the troops are near the Town Hall, because there was not any defenses at this point in time that were targeting my wrecker. But anyway, it still ended up working out. I used the poison for the CC troops. Oh, speaking of which, when your clan castle is up near a corner and you lure out the clan castle troops with one giant, like I could have, then it would have been smarter for me to do that earlier, so that way my queen could have dealt with the CC troops. Once I see that the wizard tower is targeting the ice golem, I bring my bats from the left. I'm able to freeze the multi-inferno and the wizard tower at the same time. And then, like I had happen on the first attack I showed you, I have an extra freeze. So I freeze the Tesla farm, the bat's path up to the north. The enemy queen does end up shooting down some bats, which is not ideal. It's just the way it worked on the space design. My queen stepped up, shot down the multi-inferno, and even though the wizard tower takes out all my bats, As you can see, there's like the wizard tower is the only defense left. So my troops are able to get the 3-star on that very annoying Legends League base. All right, the last attack I want to show you is a fail. Why? Because I don't want you to pretend that this attack is OP, like the kids like to say, OP. It can fail, especially when you make mistakes, which you're about to see right here. So notice where the town hall is. Notice where the eagle is. I'm going to start my queen near this wizard tower. If she goes left, then I bring the wrecker somewhere so it paths up this way. If she goes right, then I bring the wrecker over here near 3 o'clock. Again, I want to get that eagle and then eventually path towards the town hall with my kill squad. The queen, at this point, I have no idea which way she's going to go. Too many point defenses are shooting her at once, so I have to use a rage spell like you saw on the other attack. At this point, I'm pretty sure the queen's going to go to the left. So I put my giants down, my wizards. Everything looks good until right here. This is where I fail. My wrecker is too far to the left. Why does that matter? If it doesn't take out the walls where these defenses are here, then how in the world am I going to get this multi-inferno, and better yet, the eagle, with my queen or bowlers or witches? And that's not going to be ideal. So it's too far to the left. It's not going to open up that compartment. Another reason why this fails, my queen steps up, takes out this wizard tower. Why does that matter? Well, my warden is too far to the right. My wrecker is out of its eternal tome, its aura. And so when I try to use the warden's ability here to save the wrecker, I miss it. I totally miss the wrecker. So the wrecker dies way too early, never breaks the walls that I need it to get to the town hall. And that is probably the real reason why this attack completely fails and ends up being a 1-star. Even though the bats are able to take down a whole bunch of defenses using 3 free spells, one of which I'm able to use on the wizard tower and multi-inferno at the same time. That does take practice. It's good to do that, though, whenever possible. But despite all that, I never got the town hall, never got the wrecker in there, and that's why this ends up being a 1-star. So guys, moral of the story, you got to protect the wrecker. You have to make sure it makes it to the town hall. Otherwise, this attack, when you start it opposite of the town hall, will not end up being 3 stars. So there you go, guys. Queen Walk BoWitch Bats, also known as the Harmanator. I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you next time.